All right, while I was watching the RBR hangout today, the second one, somebody said something very pertinent. And this is my second time making this video because I pressed stop prematurely the first time after about a minute. But they said, while ADOS are standing around talking about reparations from the government that will never come, Asians, Hispanics, immigrants, and all these other groups in this country are silently building wealth. And that's something that stuck with me. Okay, and that's something that stuck with me to the point where I knew I had to make a video about it. Okay? Because while Negroes are sitting around here, okay, they waiting on reparations. Okay, they talking about Donald Trump is gonna give them reparations, which is a joke. Okay, proving he's not gonna do anything for black people. He's not even doing anything for the whites that elected him. So why do you think so many of his supporters of the whites who supported him are now supporting Andrew Yang? You know what I mean? But my thing is this, is that there's a culture that has existed in the black community, okay, since the civil rights movement. And that culture basically says that the government is the savior of black people, that the government holds the key to solve all of black people's problems, and that if we just continue to to march and continue to stomp our feet and continue to beg, that eventually the government will do the right thing and they'll give us what they owe us. They owe us, X amount of reparations money for slavery and all this and that, and we just got to keep pushing for it and keep pushing for it. And I think that's a culture that, you know, I don't think it's led to really good results. Now, y'all know how I feel about the whole civil rights mindset, the whole civil rights generation, and all that. Y'all know how I feel about that. And y'all know that I feel that the civil rights movement, you know, was a wasted movement. I think black people should have been pushing for economic rights instead of civil rights. But I digress on that. That's a whole nother video. Okay, but it just amazes me how ADOS sit around and I see the ADOS generation going down that same path the civil rights generation protested for. For this whole, in this photo, they're talking about integrated schools and stuff like that, where ADOS is talking about, look, we can't move forward in our community without this so-called reparations check, that we are owed. And these are the main people. The main people talking this ADOS stuff is not even the black merchant class. It's this black, I call it, it's this whole black political consciousness class who, under any other circumstances, they don't even talk about money and capital. But they're only talking about it because it's relating to this ADOS hashtag that has been created by Yvette Carnell and Tone Talks. And Yvette Carnell she is one of the most negative people out there when let's talk about the black community. She's creating this narrative that blacks won't be able to survive if we don't get this reparations check. You know, and people have calculated it out, and it first of all, there's no definitive way there has been no agreed upon definitive way to calculate it. So they just say, well, they owe us trillions of dollars and trillions of dollars, that they owe us and that they haven't paid us. And I have yet to see them, you know come up with anything definitive. However, I've yet to see them actually give like a real, definitive definition on the reparations, how much it's gonna cost, how they're gonna get it done, what they're gonna use the money for. Okay, all I've heard is all this theoretical stuff. So I know they haven't planned this stuff out. Okay. And then Yvette Carnell is the main person that will tell black people that investing in stock or investing their money is useless because white people have billions and billions and trillions of dollars and they got all the wealth locked into their community and there's nothing you can do to build your community other than ask for this reparations check. So she has a completely anti-build the community mindset, which I do not agree with and which I think is just ridiculous. And they have this go for broke, all or nothing mindset that if it's reparations or nothing. Yeah. And the reality is, you know, Donald Trump isn't going to give these niggas reparations. Look, the Trump administration will probably write something up. They'll probably go write something up to make it look like they want to give niggas reparations, and then when they get it, give it to the Congress, and then the Congress strikes it down or the Senate strikes it down, they'll be able to say, well, we tried to pass something for y'all, but the Congress struck it down, or the Senate struck it down. You know what I mean? That's the game they're gonna play. That's what they're gonna do, and y'all niggas ain't gonna get reparations. People have talked about, well, this stuff has been, they've had court cases on it for decades and decades. The reality is those court cases they came to the conclusion. There have been federal judges that have come to the conclusion that African Americans were not entitled to reparations because they themselves were not slaves. Okay, they make the argument the only way you can get reparations is for something that happened to you personally. Okay, not for being the descendant of someone who basically had a went through some sort of hardship. That has been the federal court mindset. Now, other people like Claude Anderson, they've put thousands of dollars into this, to hire these lawyers to file these federal claims and stuff in these federal courts and stuff like that. And to me, I just think all that, and that costs a lot of money. And to me, the way I feel, I just think all that is a waste of money. I would rather see black people go out here, rebuild businesses in their own community, focus on building new industries, developing new technologies, developing our young black minds so they can develop new technologies for the future. I think that money would be better spent doing that and building schools for black children rather than trying to give all this money to these lawyers and stuff so they can approach these federal courts. Who really, these lawyers, the only ones who are going to benefit from that is just these lawyers, because y'all ain't gonna never get the reparations. Y'all didn't even get the 40 acres and a mule that Abraham Lincoln promised y'all. All of y'all was supposed to get 40 acres and a mule. And for whatever reason, some niggas got it, most didn't. And to this day, we're still talking this ADOS rhetoric and this ADOS stuff. And it's not something, I don't see as something that's going to benefit the black community in the long term. I think it's going to actually worsen the black community's relations with diaspora blacks. It'll worsen their relations with blacks in Africa at a time when we're supposed to be building up relations with blacks in Ghana and Nigeria and these up and coming African economies and stuff like that. That's where you can really make a lot of money, is by doing, help, because Africa is developing and they have a very young population. That's where all the growth is. That's where you can really make your money. Okay, for how long have we begged the U.S. government for reparations? We've been doing this for a long time. This isn't nothing new. We've been doing this for decades and decades. Martin Luther King was talking about it. Okay? And it's 2019, and y'all niggas are still using this old talking point that didn't get us anywhere in the past, and it's not get us anywhere today. Now I know people might say, well, this time is different. This time we gonna actually get it. We're politically sophisticated now, and we're gonna actually get our reparations, and the Democrats and Donald Trump gonna work with us because Donald Trump needs the black vote. And I already told you, Donald Trump is gonna do window dressing for y'all. If he gets a second term, he gonna write some shit up and he gonna pretend to try to pass it, and then when it fails, he's just gonna say, "Well, look, we tried." And that's how your whole ADOS fight is gonna end. Me personally, I would rather see that capital go into business development. But like I said, African Americans, y'all just not business minded. You'll give billions and billions of dollars to other people's businesses and corporations and make them rich, but you don't spend as much time developing your own. You know what I mean? And that is a problem in the black community. I have always seen that as a huge problem in the black community. Meanwhile, all these other races, all these other groups and stuff, they accumulating capital, and they, the Hispanics, they got their own television station, Telemundo, they got their own television stations, and they buying up baseball parks and all that kind of stuff, while Negroes is still doing the same stuff they've done the last 50 years. But anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that for right now. Leave, comment, subscribe, get the likes up. Let me know what y'all think.